Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be making Singapore noodles. This dish was a banger from start to finish, trust me. From the texture of the rice sticks to the choice of ingredients and method of cooking that brought together amazing flavors. The end result of this dish was super delicious. My family really loved it. Before we continue, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. This channel is your surest place for delicious home recipes and everything interesting about food. So if you are yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. The ingredients for this recipe are fresh prawn. So I got this prawn from the market. I prefer to use the fresh prawn rather than the ones bought in the store that have been refrigerated or frozen for a while. I bought this one fresh from the market. I told them to clean it up for me and then I brought it home. I'm going to be using this for this recipe. I'm also going to be using beef. A little portion of beef. I already shredded this. I cut it into thin size and I'm going to be using it. I'm using onions. I love to use onions in my dishes generously, so I'm going to be using onions. I have crushed garlic. This is very important in this dish. Very important. It's one of the ingredients that gives that Chinese flavor to this dish. I hope you know that Singapore noodles is actually a Chinese or an Asian dish. I'm using curry in this recipe. Also very important for color and for the flavor. There's something about garlic and curry that is very nice. I'm using chicken cubes for this recipe. Also, we're going to be needing some eggs. I'm going to be frying these. Just keep your fingers crossed and do not miss any part of this video. I'm also going to be using dark soy sauce for this recipe for flavor and for color. Then I'm going to be using vegetables. Green bell pepper, red bell pepper. I'm going to be needing carrots. I need the sweetness of the carrot in the dish. I'm going to be using spring onions as well. I bought the spring onions some days before today and so it started withering in the fridge, but I'm just going to use it like that. I'm going to use it like that. Need Scotch bonnet, that's atarudo in this recipe. This is very important. You know we are big on pepper when it comes to this part of the world. Vegetable oil is also important, needed for this recipe. And our rice stick, which is the most important ingredient for this dish. Of course, this dish is not going to be complete without rice sticks. So there are different brands of this rice stick, right? But I'm going to be using this particular brand. I like the texture. I like the fact that it came out white after I soaked it for some time in hot water. I'm going to be using this. I like the crunchiness. So these are the ingredients that will be going into this dish. The first thing to do is to prep your ingredients. Now, this is where the major work is in this dish. Once you are done with prepping your ingredients, within 20 minutes, your dish is ready. Right, so I'm going to be cutting my spring onions. As you can see, I'm cutting the shape I'm cutting it in. I want it to be the same shape with the rice stick. So I'm cutting it like a matchstick shape. I took away some parts that are really withered. I'm not going to be using them. After my spring onions, I went ahead to cut or to slice my bell peppers. So like I said, cut it like matchstick shape. You don't have to cut it in cube shape because the shape of the major ingredient is long, right, and not short. After slicing my bell peppers, I'm going to be doing the same thing with my carrots. I'm going to be slicing it also in the matchstick shape. Ta-da, here we are, all my ingredients prepped. Now this is where the major work is. As you can see, look at my red bell peppers, my green bell peppers, and my spring onions. Everything sliced in similar shape, right? Sliced in similar shape and uniformly sliced. So the next thing to do after slicing and prepping of vegetables will be to parboil these rice stick. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting water on the fire. Once it is boiled, I'm going to pour it over this rice stick in a pot or in a bowl. Now I added some salt because I wanted the rice stick to take on the flavor of the salt, right? So once you pour your water into add your water to your bowl of rice sticks, make sure it does not stay beyond 3 minutes. You do not want to lose that crunchiness. You do not want it to become very soft. So make sure you check your time and it does not exceed 3 minutes. Why I'm scattering this intentionally with the tongue is because I do not want any parts to stick together. I did not add vegetable oil. No, there's no need to add any form of vegetable oil. I just added hot water and some salt. And now I am scattering the stick in the hot water. The idea is for the water to cook this, to parboil or to partly cook these sticks, right? So that's the idea. Make sure it does not exceed 3 minutes. If it does exceed 3 minutes, you might lose the crunchiness of these rice sticks, and that's really where the pleasure, or that's really where the excitement about this dish is, right? Now, this was the dish I used for the very first episode. I served my guest on the very first episode of my food show, Taste and Tell. And even though she had the blindfold on and she couldn't really say what exactly she was eating, she could still feel that crunchiness. She knew, she thought it was a pasta dish, right? She thought it was a pasta dish. She thought it was spaghetti because she felt it was thin and it was long like spaghetti. But she was confused when she tasted it and then she felt that crunchiness. She was wondering, what kind of spaghetti is this one? So we're almost there. I'm checking the texture. We're almost there. Do not forget I added salt to this. So now it's 3 minutes and I'm going to be sieving out the hot water from this. Sieve out the hot water. As you can see, it's not sticky. It's not sticky at all. It's not sticky. Once I sieve out the hot water out of this, the next thing will be to pour cold water over it because I do not want the heat to continue to cook the stick. Or pour cold water over it, or run cold water over it. You might do that under a tap. That's also fine. I'm running cold water over it right now, but just make sure that you add enough cold water such that the heat is drastically reduced, like it is almost cold. So here we are. Look at what it looks like. I love this. I love these noodles. I love it. Okay, now to the next stage. I go in with my vegetable oil in my non-stick pan. The first thing that I am going to be frying right now are my prawns, my fresh prawns. By the way, I parboiled the prawns a little, so I made it a bit firm. I parboiled it with a little pinch of salt and made it firm. So I am going to be frying this to give it some crunchiness and until it is golden brown. It's not going to burn, just golden brown, and I want it to have some crunchiness. You can see, we're good to go. I add in some more vegetable oil, and then I go in with my whisked egg. Just break your egg in a bowl, whisk it. If you want, you might want to add just a pinch of salt. Whisk it and scramble. Once you add it to your hot oil, begin to scramble it. We want this egg thoroughly scrambled. After taking out my eggs, I went in with my beef. Now for this beef, I did not marinate this overnight, or I did not even marinate it at all. So because of that, I'm going to be adding some crushed garlic to this. I want it to have a bit of flavor, and then I added half cube of seasoning, right? The idea here is not just to fry this, it's actually to cook it while it is frying, so that it is tender enough. Now if you notice, while doing this, you would realize that the meat is able to release its own juice. Like you can see right now, it's releasing its juice, and I've just added seasoning cubes. So I'm going to allow this cook. Once it's finished releasing its juice, the juice begins to dry up, and then it remains the oil, which will also fry it till it is golden brown. So it is properly cooked. I'm so sure about it. It has a very good taste and flavor. There's something about garlic and beef that is indescribable. So it is time to prepare our Singapore noodles. I first of all added my crushed garlic. Now if you notice, I've not changed this oil since I started frying the prawn. I didn't change the oil, so already the oil is flavorful, very flavorful. Once I added my garlic, I also went in with my onions, chopped onions. I do not want the garlic to burn. I just wanted it to cook a little. I'm going to be letting the onions cook a little, not burn. So I'll just fry it in the oil, allow it to cook. As you can see, it looks soft. I went in with my curry powder. This right now is so nice. The aroma of this is so nice. It just filled up everywhere. You do not want your curry powder to get burnt. Just fry it for a bit for it to release its flavor, and then for the oil to take on the color of the curry. Now I'm going in with the very first vegetable, which will be the carrot. Carrot is harder than all the other vegetables I will be using, so that is why I'm adding the carrot first. Besides, I want it to cook a little so that it can also release its sweetness and flavor into this combination. Make sure not to overcook it, because you will still be adding your Singapore noodles and it will still be on fire for a while. I went in my seasoning cubes. Very important. You want the vegetables also to take on the taste, or to have a very good taste. You do not want them to taste bland. I'm going in with my bell peppers. Stir it a little. Feel free to add any vegetable of your choice. There's no hard and fast rule when it comes to your choice of vegetables. Some people do not like green peppers or red bell peppers. So just make use of any vegetable of your choice. Cabbage, broccoli, whatever vegetable you want to use. Now I'm going in with my dark soy sauce. This brought together all the flavors. Like, I just love dark soy sauce. I love dark soy sauce. I know, because this is an Asian dish, you actually need dark soy sauce. If you have sesame oil at home, it will be also nice. If it is light soy sauce you have, it is also very good. So right now, as you can see, I've added my my beef, added my dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce also gives color to the dish and flavor. And mind you, do not add too much salt, because if you're using dark soy sauce, you know that dark soy sauce it's quite salty. So now I've added my beef and added these vegetables. I'm reducing the quantity of the vegetables because I'm going to be mixing my rice stick inside these vegetables in bits. If this is your first time of handling Singapore noodles, don't worry about it. It can be stretchy, you know, it can drag you here and there, but with time you'll get used to how to do it. So I'm using my tongue to mix all of this together. One of the reasons why I added salt to the Singapore noodles while I was parboiling is because I wanted the salt to actually penetrate the noodles, right? I don't want a situation where you'll be eating the dish, or where you know, while you are eating the dish, it just feels like the taste of the savory taste is just on the body of the dish. I want you to feel it on the inside. So mix together, mix together, mix together, mix together. As you are mixing, feel free to add some part of the fried eggs or the scrambled eggs. Also add your prawn at this point. If you notice, I haven't added my spring onions, and that's intentional. I'm going to be adding my spring onions last. I don't want it to overcook, number one, and I like the flavor of spring onions when it is not totally fried, right? So I'm going in with my spring onions. Oh my goodness, look at how colorful everything looks. Very colorful, very colorful. This is just all about your Singapore noodles. It tasted really, really, really nice. When you try this recipe, please do not forget to let me know how it tasted. Thank you for watching.